Hello and welcome to episode number 114 of the Techie Geek podcast. I'm your host, Tracy Holtz. Russ Werner cannot make it to this episode at this time. We are having a hard time getting together, life and stuff. Russ, his son just graduated high school, so congratulations. I want to make sure you say that. And I'm having a hard time. I'll tell you what's going on here, why I'm having such a hard time. So I'm going to try to record this in my car, and I have a mount you can see right there that's actually a really good mount. It's by Pro Clips USA. I know a lot of you guys know about that. So the audio, I'm going to try to clean up a little bit because I'm going to extract the audio right from this. But the video will be posted on my YouTube channel. So if you want to watch the YouTube video, you can do that. But I also want to say, make sure you know that the Techie Geek is a proud member of the techpodcast.com network. If you like tech podcasts and your podcast is running kind of low or anything like that, go to techpodcast.com, check them out. There's actually some really good tech podcasts out there. And don't forget, if you're going to shop something on Amazon, on the right-hand side of the Techie Geek website, you'll see an Amazon affiliate link. You guys know the deal on that. Just go there, click on it, shop. Everything's the same price and everything like that. So, sorry I had to really turn my head there. I'm at an intersection here. In the last 4 months, because you guys know I live in the country, 3 people have been killed right at that intersection I was at, right back there. It's a big blind spot. It's a highway that goes, it's in the, if you're in the DFW area, you know Highway 121. Well, it's way up by Westminster and Anna. And there's FM Road. If you're not from Texas, we got FM roads here. It's called Farm to Market roads. It'd be our equivalent to a mini highway, almost, but they're not really highways. They're almost like, they used to be the farm market roads. And there's a hill right on the north side of it. So when you're turning south or north, it's a blind spot. So, yeah, trucks just barrel up and down. So that's what that. But I got, just so you know, I got my notes kind of down there where my hand is, down that direction. So if you see me looking down there, those are my notes. We'll do this as an experiment, because I want to get an episode out, because we both don't want pod fading or anything like that. We don't, so that's why I want to try this, to make sure, to see how it goes and everything. And if you guys totally, this is the end of the world and you'll drop us if we keep doing it like this, if I do, let me know, because, and I'll tell you why a little while. It'll be busy for a little while. Come November, things might get a little easier, but that's what I want to make an announcement. I want to make sure you guys know it here, that you guys know I have my computer company. It's called High Tech Redneck. You can see the logo right there. In McKinney, Texas. Come October 31st, my lease is up where my shop is at. And for all intents and purposes, I am closing my shop. Okay? I will be doing it a little on the side, okay? It's a few different reasons here and there why I'm doing it. Excuse me. The biggest reason is for the home repair market. I see the market going down and down. I see that curve there. It's there. And it's continuing. I keep metrics on a spreadsheet. It's a Google Doc spreadsheet that my techs fill out. And I can go back to the last 5 years, every day of the year, even holidays, if we were open or closed, and tell you how many drop-offs were on that day, how many remote calls we did that day, how many redos we had to do that day, how many pickups were that day, and how many, if we had to send it off for whatever reason, if it's a major motherboard repair or something that we don't do, how many we had to send off. So we keep real detailed metrics, and you can see over the last 2 years the home and the drop-off market really declining. Excuse me. And what I did was I started asking some of my customers, just straight up. Some of them, that haven't been in a while, sending them emails, and I was saying, I don't care, I'm not mad. I would just like to know, is there something that we did? Can we make it better or anything like that? And pretty much everybody said the same thing. And we try to pride ourselves with making people happy. And you guys all know you always have those people you can't make happy. And you know who those people are. So when I was talking to them, they were saying no. Two things. Things just seem to be working better. And they're not using PCs as much. I have 3 of them told me straight up, their PC died, 2 months ago, 6 months ago, whatever. They haven't bought a new one because they're just using a tablet. They can do everything they want on their tablet. And I think the majority of the people, that's just the case. And which I'm a big cloud person. Whether you like the cloud, personal cloud, anything like that, private cloud, that's mute. So, but with the cloud, basically, if something really goes bad with your Apple tablet or your Android tablet, you just reload the tablet and go on. And there you go. So the home is going down, 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 down. And I see those numbers. Now that I said that, the small business market is actually increasing. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm giving my one big full-time job away, my computer tech work. And what I'm doing is I will have 3 kind of part-time jobs. So just kind of spread it out a little bit. One, I'll be doing some commercial work for some of the clients I already have, and maybe pick a couple commercial clients up here and there. I'll be doing that. The next thing is, you guys know I have some land, is I will start to grow some stuff to sell some food. And I'm actually working on getting my aquaculture license, which is, selling fish. Because if you guys didn't listen to my Hacker Public Radio episode from about a month and a half ago, it's called aquaponics. And I'm sure you guys know what hydroponics is. It's growing plants without soil. And aquaculture is fish. So aquaponics is you're using the fish to feed the plants, and then the plants clean the water back to the fish. So it's got that little symbiotic relationship. So only I'll be building one. I'm building just a home one right now. And you can start seeing the builds on my YouTube channel, Mr. Holster, MrHolzster, Mr. Holster. That's my YouTube channel. And I'm starting to build with just more of a, even if I build a big, gigantic commercial one, I'll still keep this personal one around. So, and I'll be growing some tilapia, and I'll be selling some of the tilapia. So that'll be one of my part-time jobs. And the other part-time job is I will be teaching NRA classes and concealed weapons classes, for pistol, shotgun, and rifle, and then concealed weapons. So, and I'm just waiting on my concealed weapon instructor training, but the state of Texas is changing their law. They're changing the hour requirements. So everything's kind of on limbo for training and everything like that. But that's one of the reasons. So right now, getting my ducks in a row, it's real busy. That's why I wanted to talk to you about why I've been so busy lately. And a couple people knew that I told about this, but almost everybody didn't know about my shop. So I just wanted to make sure I told the Techie Geek first, about the shop closing down and everything like that. Excuse me. Okay, let's get on to the regular show here. The first thing is some of you guys know, I bought the MK802-2. That's that little USB computer, has Android on it. You can plug it in. Well, it's basically a mini PC. I bought one, and I really wanted that one as a media machine. I could plug it into the USB slot in my TV. That would be the power. And it has an HDMI out. I can HDMI in, and that can be my media machine. And I was really looking forward to that. And I tried it, and everything was great on it. It worked. Everything worked. But I tried to install something to really, for the media, it would say not compatible with your device. So Netflix couldn't get going. Hulu Plus, not for this device. The Major League Baseball and the hockey app, not for this device. So that was a big deal. Now, I know there's hacks and stuff you can do. You can go in to spoof it and everything, but I didn't want that. I wanted something turnkey, basically, and that just wasn't it. Since I'm such a big Roku fan, it's a little more expensive with Roku. Not much, but the Roku is just like that and just works. So, because I was really hoping something, because when I travel with my Roku. I was really hoping to get the MK802 because it's a smaller device, to travel. We got a traffic jam up here. Must be an accident. Okay, sorry about that. So I was kind of disappointed with that, and so I'm not even using it right now. And I bought a little remote control about this big that had a QWERTY keyboard and everything on it, and a built-in little mouse. And like I said, everything was great on it with that one exception. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is a tiny little rant. It is about Amazon. It's basically, it's about their music, okay? They pretty much dropped everything for Linux support, okay? If you've been, I've been having my music on the Amazon cloud, and I've been listening to it on my Android phone, okay? And what I decided to do was, let me just go on, and it'll take a while to back everything up and download it locally, just to have it, just in case. So I went onto their website, went out and looked, and there's no Linux client. Like, huh. So I did some research, and they said, nope, we stopped Linux support. Like, okay, well, gee, So, well, how do I get my music? And they're like, well, you have to go to a Windows machine. Like, really? Okay. So what if I don't have Windows? And they're like, well, that's all we can do. So what I did is I kept escalating the level of the ticket. Well, they kept just closing it. So that was another thing. And this process that I'm talking to you about with Amazon took about a week and a half. 12 different tickets. That, I was kind of torqued about that. They would just reply back and say, ticket closed, not even get back to me. Usually Amazon support's really good, so that really disappointed me. Finally, when I created that last ticket, the 12th one, I had the person put a note on that this ticket will not be closed under any circumstances until they talk to me personally. Because he wanted to kind of know what was going on too, and he was just a junior person because he saw all the tickets under my name. Excuse me. So, finally got up to, they had like 3 levels, and then I finally got up to a developer level. Basically their response was, sorry, no Linux support, we're not doing anything. Their response, what to do was, well, you have an Android phone, just download it to your Android phone and move it over. That is one option, yes. But there's a major problem with that. That when you download it on your Android phone, the only really optimal way of doing it is to download song for song or download an album at a time. Well, I got a lot of albums out there. Thousands of albums out there. Now that I say that, some of the albums might have 1 or 2 songs on it. You know how you just download 1 or 2 songs. So that's really not a viable option either. So this is one of those circumstances where I got stuck, for proprietary cloud. So what I finally ended up doing was I had an XP virtual machine that I haven't fired up in a while. So I downloaded VirtualBox, put it on my machine, and created a map drive. You know how you can make a map drive of from your virtual machine to your regular Linux machine. So that's what I did. Well, then they have a limit 500 song download at a time. So it took a while. It took days to get my music, but I did get it all down. So if you get stuck in that, that's one thing you can do. So what I wanted to do was get my music out there on the cloud somewhere so I can stream it wherever I'm at. So I looked around and I started using the Google, the Google Music or the Google Plays, not the Play Store, the Google Music. Yeah, I think that's what they call it. And I like it. It just works. There is a problem with it, though. They limit you the number of songs, and which basically their number limit, and that's about 70% of my collection. As you guys know, I really like old-time radio shows. So I have, 6,000 or 8,000 different old-time radio shows. If I'm in the mood, I can just fire one up and go. So I really like it. So I got a lot of stuff out there, plus a lot of music. Well, they limit you. So I sent off a couple support tickets. What can you do? What can you do? And basically what's coming back is they don't know. They say, yeah, it's in the roadmap where you could pay for more storage, but as of now, there's nothing you can do. So it comes back to, excuse me, if I want to run my own cloud, and that's what everybody was saying, get OwnCloud, which OwnCloud is a great product. There's absolutely nothing wrong. But for me, OwnCloud is not a viable option. I live out in the country. I have slower internet. Now, I have wireless DSL, which is a direct line of sight, basically. I point to a water tower, and they have a little dish that's about 18 inches. And it actually uses, those old PCMCIA cards and everything for laptops. It uses that, and it goes up to the tower, and it works good. They just upgraded me to I get 12 to 15 megs down. I have been 2 to 3 down. So when I got upgraded, I was really happy, and I'm very excited because now me and my wife both can stream at the same time if we want. So I really can't stream, there because I'll just kill my internet. If I'm out and about and my wife is home, well, I'll just kill it. I'll kill the reception. If there's a glare, I'm sorry. I'll try to hold my arm where it kind of blocks it. But so running my own, I really can't. And I know I can buy monthly services where I get a server, and then it's just, a virtual server from somewhere or a virtual private server, or you know what I'm talking about. And where there's even have some that are really good prices where, you get almost unlimited bandwidth. It's not unlimited, but it's a huge amount. But that's a monthly fee I just don't want when I have these other services. So what I'm doing for now is I got my stuff on Amazon, and I moved all the stuff I could to Google. And just so I can keep my stuff organized is I started with the alphabetical letter of the albums and just started uploading to Google until I got full. And every time I get a new one, I'll upload it to Amazon and to Google. So that's what I'm doing now until Google can up it or Amazon gets some other support. So that's kind of what I'm doing for the music and my little rant about, getting stuck in a non-free environment. So, and like I said, I know I can run OwnCloud and I don't have to worry about any of that, but I just don't want to run my own server, because my bandwidth issue I'll be stuck with there. So that's that. Okay, some links I have for you guys this time, and this is a funny video. It's not really old, but it's a little older. It's you guys know that game Fruit Ninja. I really didn't know about Fruit Ninja until after I saw this video, because you guys know I'm not a big gamer. Well, they make an epic movie. It's like 5 or 10 minutes long on YouTube, and watch it till the end, the very end. But it's I wonder why I'm telling you this now in June. It's actually something for Christmas. If you guys want some cool stuff for Christmas, you know, to make and stuff, you got to start early, you know. So this one is actually, it's a do-it-yourself glittery Death Star, you know, holiday tree topper. So yeah, so if you want to geek up your Christmas tree a little bit, you know, you can check that link out. I'm going to take a drink here in case you guys are wondering what's going on, and got my iced tea in my Psy cup here, and I've had this for about 4 or 5 years. I have my cup as long as Psy, but I don't carry a big jug. I just fill it up when I leave, and when it's empty, it's empty. Sorry about that. Okay, the next one I got you can go to my to the link in the show notes. On you guys know I do some homebrew for a mash tun build. Basically, 10 seconds on what a mash tun is. It's basically where you soak the grains to get the sugars out. Okay, it's made out of a cooler, and I did a step-by-step process. Every piece, every part, what I did for my homemade mash tun build. I put it up on the homebrew forum website. You can see the step-by-step process I did for that. And the next thing I have for you is I'm going to tell what I do, and there is, I'll try to put my, there we go, that might help the glare a little bit. I made a video of this also on my YouTube thing, so if you want more detailed, you can go to that. I had a couple people ask me in passing, I make my own laundry soap, liquid laundry soap for the washing machine. And step by step on what it is, but the basic recipe is 1 cup of washing soda, not baking soda, washing soda, and a half a cup of borax, and 1 bar that Fells Naphtha washing soap. It's a bar soap. It's not with the regular bar soaps, it's with the laundry detergents. There's a couple, but I use that Fells Naphtha. And that should be grated. Basically what you do is you grate the soap, you put it in about half a quart of water, you heat it up, not on boiling, and you keep stirring it until the shredded bar soap melts. In a 5-gallon bucket, fill it up about halfway full of hot as water as you can get it. Out of the tap's fine, you don't need to heat it. You know, put the 1 cup washing soda and the half a cup of borax in there, stir it till it's dissolved, and once your liquid on the stovetop with your bar soap dissolved, then put that in, mix it real good, not with a power mixer, use just by hand. Once everything is smooth, fill that 5-gallon bucket up with water, leave it sit for a day. The next day, stir it again, because it'll be like gelatinized, and what you'll do is when you're stirring it, you'll break it up in really tiny pieces. Now here's where you can go 2 different ways. I just take that and I put it in 1-gallon old bleach bottles, mark it, and I use a half a cup per load. If you got a front loading, you want to use only 1/8 to 1/4 cup per load. Now, what I have to do is before I measure it out, I got to shake it to kind of loosen it up. If you don't want to do that every time, take that 5-gallon bucket after you stir it, put half of it in another 5-gallon bucket, fill them both up with hot water and mix it so you got 10 gallons, then divide all that up. With diluting it down the second time, keeps everything real loose. But then you double the amount you add in, so you add a cup to your load, you know, or about 1/4 cup to a front load. So I just keep it concentrated for space-wise, and knowing when I get the container, I just shake it, you know, a little bit. Well, that looked real good. Just to loosen it up a little bit. So that's really inexpensive homemade laundry soap, and I actually like it better. I like it a lot better than anything we purchased, and my wife says the same thing. The next link I got for you guys is a place to get free textbooks and business books. I found this through when I was taking a Coursera course. It's called BookBoon. Excuse me, bookboon.com, BOON as in Nancy.com. I took an economics class in there, a food economics class, about growing food economics and stuff. A really good class. And there was a couple economic books I had to download through them. So I got that together. I got a phone call from something I've been waiting for a long time, and I'm kind of glad so I can talk about it now. I'm actually on my way home now. You can see I'm clean shaven. I shaved when I got to work. It was from the Apple Store, the Geniuses. It started about 2 months ago with a client. They came in and they said, they used to have a Windows machine. They bought a Mac and they got that all-inclusive package from them. And they came in and they said, I keep getting this weird stuff on my Mac. And, they got that Total Care thing. And they said, there's nothing wrong. But I keep getting weird stuff happening. So, we got free diagnostics. So I went to the thing, took it, checked it in, and they had a virus on it. So I called them back before I cleaned it. And it said, it's got a virus. Do you want us to clean it for the charge? Or do you want to bring it back since you got the Total Care to the Geniuses? I got to do that in air quote. Because I've had numerous weird stuff with them. And they said, yes, we're going to do that. That way there's no charge or anything like that. So I got it. They picked it up. They went to the Apple Store and they said, looked at it and they said, told the customer there's no virus on there. And so the customer brought it back to me and says, are you sure there's a virus? Because they said there's no virus. And I said, yes. Well, while the customer's there, I put the scanning software on. I scanned. It was right there. There it is. And they said, okay, took a screenshot. Well, they took it back to the Apple Store. And the Apple Store said, no, it's not a virus. So the customer was mad. So they brought it to me and they said, just clean it. And so cleaned it. So what they did, customer was they took the bill I gave them. They brought it down to the Apple Store and were trying to get Apple to pay for it. Since they didn't cover what they said they were going to cover to, the total protection, total everything fix. Well, it kept getting raised up a level, and it's been about a month and a half to 2.5 months, I forgot, somewhere in that time frame. Thinking about 2. Well, it got up pretty high because I got a phone call from, I forgot the person's name, but basically he's in charge of the Southwest U.S. of all their Apple Store tech support area. And here's what he told me. He says they will pay for this customer, but they were right. And I'm like, no, look, screenshot, virus, multiple times. There's even a tech I know who's a mobile tech, a different company, who's actually in the store. We were just talking at the time the customer came in, and he saw it too. So I even told the guy, look, I got a tech from a different company verify there's a virus on there. And he said, no, it's not a virus. It's an unwanted program. So, and I know why they're doing this. They didn't say this. So they are not calling them viruses. They're unwanted programs. So their salespeople can still say you don't get viruses on Macs. That's my conclusion with that. So I was kind of torqued with that, about what they're doing. And they're just not being totally honest with the clients. It's... And some techs are like that too. Every tech's goal, if you work, whether it's small companies, large companies, home users, every tech's goal should be, you should work with that client until that client doesn't need you anymore. You should try to work yourself out of a job. Most techs don't do that. And when I sit down with small business clients, I tell them straight up, even if they have a server, that you hire me, depending on the number of employees you have, 2 to 10 hours a month for 6 months, odds are you'll never need me again. And some of them look at that and some of them go, oh, well, that's kind of cool. And I show them the roadmap and the plan I have. And They're like, okay. And what I will do is I will show that roadmap in another video. I'll probably do another one like this if you guys want that. In a nutshell, basically how I use different servers for different things and how they manage it themselves. But yeah, so that's kind of, I really didn't like how Apple was treating their customers and everything like that, because that's just wrong, deceiving your customers like that. So, okay, let's get back to the regular show here. And again, I apologize, I had to stop beginning to end, so it kind of looks a little different here if you're wondering about the shaviness. The next one I got from Tony Sick from online. Thank you, Tony, for this. And I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, Sick. I hope that's right. I'm horrible with pronunciations. But it was about the episode I did about Roku. Is I wished you could change the channel order. Well, the channel order you can change. What you have to do is when you're in the main menu, and this is even if you got the new update to the new Roku menu, you do the same thing. You highlight the one you want to move, you hit the star on your remote, and you get a menu, and one of them is move. So that's it, and I do appreciate that, Tony. Now, Tony said he doesn't want credit for this. He wants to give credit to his daughter's dog. It's his daughter's dog stepped on the remote and found that out. So, but I'm still giving credit to Tony. Tony can give it to his daughter's dog if he wants to, like that. Okay, the next one I got a link for you is an article on why you should use a password keeper and how to use them. It gives a real basic. If you're not using a password keeper, you know, you're wrong. You really, really should be using a password keeper. Because if you know all your passwords up in your head, it's not a good password. Almost every password I have, I do not know the password for it because I don't need to know it. You know, I use KeePass. And in KeePass, I keep the database file on my Dropbox account. So whether I'm on my phone, work computer, home computer, I can open up my password and get to my passwords. And the feature that has where it copies and pastes and it only keeps on your clipboard for 10 seconds is a great feature. So good article on that. The next one I got for you is, it's a little older, but about Ubuntu is cutting their support for long-term releases to 9 months. They're cutting it in half. And honestly, my 2 cents, I guess, my opinion's only worth a cent, not even 2 cents, but is it's really not that big of a deal. If you're in a business environment or a stable environment for a family member or something, you want to use a long-term release no matter what. Even if it's 6 months, a year old, that long-term release. Because you want that 3, 4, 5 year support. So you don't have to do much with it for a while. If you're using a non-long-term, odds are you're going to be reloading it about every year, year and a half. So it's really, since they release every 6 months, you're probably going to be, you know, reloading anyway. So I don't think that's a big deal. I honestly think that's a good move on Canonical's part, just in a business aspect. So that's not that big of a deal, I don't think. The next one is, excuse me, an article on the barbell problem in online media, in online news. Basically about, you got the big ends, it's okay if the big ends on the real small sites, it's good on the real big sites, but the middle's real narrow and it's real tight. If you're onto online reading and everything like that, it's a pretty good article, especially if you do blogging and everything like that. It's a really good read, and it's a good thing to do. And the next one I got for you guys is 5 companies that want to break up, your cable bundle. And there are companies that actually want to do that. And the companies they put down are Verizon, Cablevision, REO, Boxy, and Netflix. Well, I want to throw a 6th one in there called Roku. So, and I can't believe they didn't add Roku in there. They're a big deal. They're bigger than Boxy. So, yeah. But REO, that's another one I want to talk about. If you don't know what it is, it's AEREO. And they do a streaming TV of whatever's broadcasted over the network. And I'm excited about this because this summer they are coming to the Dallas area. And basically you'll pay a small monthly fee, and all the local channels you'll be able to stream. Cool. And for them, the space isn't that really big of a deal because the way their database works is, you know that, it's just linking to one file. So they might have 2 million people, you know, that recorded on their DVR the new Big Bang Theory episode, but to them, it's only one file. So that's a good company. I'm really excited about going to that. And the next one I got it's really good. It's a Supreme Court sided with a bookseller against the large booksellers. What it was is in California, this kid was selling textbooks. He found out if he ordered his books from Asia, the same exact book, he could get it for a fraction of the cost as what they were paying. I got to take another drink, I'm sorry. So what he was doing as a business is taking that textbook and buying extra, getting his, and then he was selling the rest to people in the class and making some money. Well, he started doing that and became a little business. And that's just good ingenuity. That's good capitalism. Well, they said, no, you can't do that. They got to buy them directly from us, not the schools, the bookseller. Can't do that, can't do that. So, and they kept on going up and appealing, and the bookseller was losing at every level. And it got to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said, yep, he can do that if he wants. So that, kudos to that, that was good. The next one I got for you is a Google Docs alternative to an online docs. It's OX Documents. It's from the same people that brought you Open Exchange. And out of all the different open source mail servers, Open Exchange, I think I like the best. I like the community. I like what it did, how smooth it was, the ease of use. It just, to me, I don't know if it was the best per se. It's the one that clicked, you know, in my mind the most. So they're bringing you that. So there is going to be another alternative to Google Docs online. And another one is, and if you guys know me, I'm not a big tree hugger, but you know I got land. I want good things for the environment. It just makes common sense. It has nothing to do with, you know, hugging trees and everything like that. No, it's just common sense. And you know, I'm the one that likes to pay a little more up front if I get longevity out of it. And so that's what it is. So I'm big into the solar power, wind power, because if I pay up front, I'll get a lot more power and save a lot more money, you know, in the long run. Well, trying to get the block it there so it's not, the glare isn't so bad. But what, again, I'm sorry about that glare. It's a new technology about solar power and what the new things are coming down the pipe. It's a new technology that they're saying that could really be a game changer. And the next one I got you link is from the folks at Linux Journal, an article by Kyle Rankin. You guys know him if you've been around a little while. Great guy. I've talked to him a couple times indirectly here and there, and a really good guy. But it's how to deploy a server, and he gives some tips, tricks, and everything like that. So it's a really good article. And along with that, and again, I'm straight up, I'm stealing this from Russ because I like it so much and everything like that. And Russ, I'm sorry, but I'm stealing your link. But it's basically, you know, how to set up a mail server, you know, on a GNU/Linux system. So the reason I say that, because it could be BSD or something like that, not just Linux. So it's a really good article, and again, Russ gets 100% credit for that. It was his find, his everything, but it kind of had to do with how to deploy a server. I want to put that out in case, you know, we're having a hard time getting together or anything like that, that you can do that, because they kind of go together really good. So really good article on that. The next link I got for you is about the world's biggest DDoS attack that happened. And the reason I really like this article was it goes into detail on DDoS, what it is, how they did it, what went on, behind the scenes, front, back, and everything like that. So it was a really good article about that. The next one I got for you is, this is really good. It's Google Translate for Android becomes offline. Excuse me. The reason that... I got to take another drink. The throat's getting dry. Usually it's not that bad. I apologize. But if you had your phone and you went overseas, a lot of times you could pay for phone support. It wasn't bad, but the data was just outrageous. So you didn't really use your, Google Translate that much if you were overseas. Well, now that could be a game changer. So that's a big deal to me. The next one I got for you is 8 ways your wireless carrier is gouging you. It's some tips and tricks on how to save some money. And along with that, another one is how to eliminate your SMS fees, to save money. And that's one of the ways they're gouging you. Is most people don't need that much, and there's ways around what you can do, to save money with the SMS. So that's an article there. And the next one is Google in the Gmail has new category tabs. That's fairly new, and I'm really liking it. I got a feeling this is something you're going to like or you're not going to like. But you have to go to your settings button and configure inbox. Now, the only ones I really got going is the primary, the social, and the forms. Primary is basically your primary inbox. Social is, I have everything from my Twitter announcement, my Facebook announcements, my Google Plus announcements, and stuff like that. I'll go to the social. And the form is anything I get from a newsreader. So all my newsreader feeds go into that one. So, and again, I'm sorry about that light. I'll try to get my arm there until I turn here. So, but I'm really liking it. And again, I'm thinking this is going to be something you just like or you don't like. So, and then the last one I have for you is something I found, and it was weird. And this is something I found when I was going through news feeds a couple months ago. And right after I found it, I really didn't say much. But for some reason, it must have been talked about on a program, because a lot of people started talking about it, about Bittorrent Sync. Well, and I'm using it at my house to sync some files from one machine to the next. So I started thinking, this is actually a business model, because I actually have a few clients that don't want to back up. They don't want to do anything. They don't want the online. So what they do is they hire me once a week. I've got a couple hard drives. I go on, I swap the hard drives out, and I start a sync, and I get there late in the day, The next week I go, I swap the hard drives out. So the worst case scenario, the clients are only out about worst case scenario is a week's worth of data. To them, that's acceptable. So, but with this is, I could have Bittorrent Sync set up securely and have a machine at my place and sync theirs up to mine and have it go on every night. So I think that's a pretty good deal there. So it could be a whole business model you could make money on right there, the Bittorrent Sync. So that's it. I hope you guys like this. If you guys totally, like I said, dislike what I did, like this, as of now, like I was talking, this is about the only time I really have right now. If you totally dislike it, let me know. And if you thought it was okay, please let me know. Because I might have to have a couple like this. Because, yeah, like I was saying, time right now is not existent. It'll get a little better in November for the reasons I said. But if you guys have any comments, concerns, email us at Tracy, Tracy, or Russ, Russ, at thetechiegeek.com. Any corrections, which there might be, let us know. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. And if you want us to talk about anything, let us know. And if you have any more show ideas, just let us know. Have a great day, guys.